Buckle up. Thank you for listening to Sarabian and Lawhorn on Musicians and Beyond, where we bring you the backstage info on the life, lyrics, and long journeys of the music industry. Today's episode number 4 is in honor of the Make-A-Wish New Hampshire Foundation in the Tri-State Make-A-Wish of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Any donation will help sick children reach the destiny of their dreams and help make wishes come true. Today, we are zooming in from Nashville, Tennessee, a very special guest who probably put his tea time on hold for us. He's an avid golfer. He's an avid golfer and a hell of a musician. He's been with the same band for about 15 years. The band is Lee Brice. They've had 8 number 1 hits on the Billboard charts, and we are honored and can't thank him enough for spending his time and getting on our show, Mr. Michael Gray. Hi, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. You both?
Fantastic here in Boston. We can't thank you enough for coming on with Lawhorn and Sarabian and Lawhorn. He's John, I'm Mark, and we're excited to have you here with us today, Michael.
Well, thank you for having me. Now, I did book a tea time for after this.
Outstanding. Good for you. Where are you going to be playing today?
I'm going to go up about 12 miles near Springfield, Tennessee, just north of me.
Excellent.
Who do you usually golf with? Do you just have the same crew?
I met some guys on the golf course a couple years ago, and they're still my friends. When I'm on the road, it's the tour manager, the other drummer, and Lee, us 4 golf.
Nice.
Fantastic. That's a good
Who's
day.
the best?
Donnie, he took golf in college for 2 years.
Okay. All right. So he has a one-up on you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking about tour. You're going out, when is it? Next week you're doing a national tour?
Well, we just 2 shows in Texas this past weekend. 10 days off. Then we head to upstate New York, West Virginia, Kentucky. Couple days off in Nashville. Then we hit our headlining tour in June.
Fantastic. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're excited for you to get on the road, and hopefully we'll be able to find you and track you down and meet back up when you're out there. We had a good time with you in Nashville when we saw you down at the Bluebird playing with Batson and Haynes up on stage at the Bluebird Cafe. It was a fun night, and then we went out to dinner and had an even better night. Good company and good people.
Yeah. You know, Eric and I grew up in Maryland. We used to be in a band together.
Well, you know, I was going to get to that. I figured I'd go down the road of us being out that night and how you played with Eric there. How many years ago was that?
Oh, my God. Late 20s?
Really, that long?
Yeah.
Well,
we've
good for
been
you
friends
guys.
a long time.
That's good to hear. Eric's a good man. We really like him, and we appreciate everything he does with us and for us, and just getting to spend time with him is a real treat.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He was first guest on Musicians and Beyond for episode number 1.
Was that your first band that you were in then, or were you in one before?
No. I was 14, and my dad was teaching me to play pool because my dad was a big pool shark, Vegas and all that. So this little bar, he heard the band leader talking and said, man, our drummer can't make it because snowstorm. And it was like 30-mile drive. Dad told the guy, hey, we live right down the street. My son has his drums there. Said, all right, time to go get him. Got the gig. It was a band called the Virginians. I was 14
That's awesome.
$20 a night.
$20 an hour?
A night.
A night. Oh, boy.
That was big money back then.
Yeah. At 14 years old, that's a great place to start out and be able to get out on the road with someone, that's for sure.
Yeah, timing is everything for sure.
Yeah, and that's all I've been doing ever since.
So you've been with Lee Brice and the band for about 15 years?
15 years last month. I'm the original member.
Let me ask you, what was it like? How did you celebrate, and how did you get word that your song had just hit number 1, the first one?
Well, I'm like, let me backtrack a little bit.
Certainly.
I didn't move to Nashville until I was 42. I did 5 years on Broadway, all the honky tonks. Then I met Lee. He came in. I didn't know who he was. He sat in with the guy I was playing at Tootsie's. And I'm like, who is this guy? He sang 2 songs. And I'm like, wow. So a couple months later, I quit the guy I was with. And I told my wife, Lee's getting ready to start a band. Where's he at? I'm like, well, he's down in the Bahamas on a cruise. So Dawn said, let's go. We packed up, and they had a Q&A. Somehow the narrator gave me the mic first. And I said, hey, Lee. Lee's like, Michael, is that you out there? I'm like, yeah. He says, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I hear you're starting a band. So I just come down and ask him for the drum slot because, I'm unemployed. Narrator took the mic back. Nothing was really said. Lee texted me a couple of days later when we all got back to Nashville. He said, meet me at 12 and Quarter. It's a club in Nashville.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. I went there. He asked me, you want to be my drummer? 15 years later, here I am.
Great
Wow.
story.
That is awesome.
That's
awesome.
that's a crazy story.
Yeah, it is.
But you got to go after the artist. They're not coming after you.
Well, you really got to make your own road, right? And so you went after it and got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just blessed and very lucky.
Fantastic.
It is fantastic.
About the first hit, man, we just had a few drinks. Nothing major. And did a lot of hugging, a lot of high-fiving. And my wife and I went out and celebrated. It's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Just blessed.
And you guys have what, 8 number one hits now on the Billboard? Over the
I
years?
think it is 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I know Lee's written hit songs for Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw, Jason Aldean. Can't remember exactly how many, but somewhere around there.
Now, let me ask you, Michael, do you do some writing as well?
I do not. I am very, very, very ADHD. I can't sit still. I don't want to take any pills. The other week we were in California. So 20,000 steps and walked 8.6 miles that day. So I don't write.
Good for you.
I'm just too hyper.
So would you say, I know some drummers, and I would say most of the drummers I know are just like you.
Most of my drumming friends are. It's kind of crazy. But it is what it is.
Excellent. So when you're on the road, how are you guys traveling most of the time? Are you on a bus?
We have 3 tour buses.
Wow.
Lee has his, the band has ours, and then there's a crew bus. And then
Buckle up. Thank you for listening to Sarabian and Lawhorn on Musicians and Beyond, where we bring you the backstage info on the life, lyrics, and long journeys of the music industry. Today's episode number 4 is in honor of the Make-A-Wish New Hampshire Foundation and the Tri-State Make-A-Wish of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Any donation will help sick children reach the destiny of their dreams and help make wishes come true. Today, we are zooming in from Nashville, Tennessee, a very special guest who probably put his tea time on hold for us. He's an avid golfer.
yeah.
He's an avid golfer and a hell of a musician. He's been with the same band for about 15 years. The band is Lee Brice. They've had 8 number one hits on the Billboard charts, and we are honored and can't thank him enough for spending his time and getting on our show, Mr. Michael Gray. Hi, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. You both?
Fantastic here in Boston. We can't thank you enough for coming on with Lawhorn and Sarabian and Lawhorn. He's John. I'm Mark, and we're excited to have you here with us today, Michael.
Well, thank you for having me. Now, I did book a tea time for after this.
Outstanding. Good for you. Where are you going to be playing today?
I'm going to go up about 12 miles near Springfield, Tennessee, just north of me.
Excellent.
Who do you usually golf with? You just have the same crew?
I met some guys on the golf course a couple years ago, and they're still my friends. When I'm on the road, it's the tour manager, the other drummer, and Lee, us 4 golf.
Nice.
Fantastic. That's a good
Who's
day.
the best?
Donnie, he took golf in college for 2 years.
Okay. All right. So he...
French fries, ketchup, or mayonnaise?
Ketchup. Mayonnaise. Y'all eat that up there?
Oh, I don't, but there are people that do.
That's the first time I heard that.
Yeah.
I only eat mayonnaise on tuna fish sandwich or tomato sandwiches.
I like it.
That's it.
Yeah, I've
That was
heard
an easy question.
some people do well, I try to, get your thoughts back in order, and that gives you a little chance to think of things through. We had Francois Samad in the other day, and he likes both mayonnaise and ketchup at the same time. All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try it.
First time for everything.
Yeah, it doesn't sound appetizing to me.
No, but they have it like on, I don't eat there at McDonald's or anything, but I know they got like ketchup, mustard, and mayo on Big Macs.
Yeah, what do they say? Special sauce, don't upset us?
Yeah. That's it. I can't make it back on the road. We have 10 days off. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can only golf so much.
Well, when you come up here and play anywhere around the New England area, we'll take you out. We'd love to get you out for a round of golf up here. We have some pretty nice courses.
You know what? Yeah, we come close by. Hit me up. and I'll get you some ticks.
Yeah, I think you guys are playing Hampton. Is it the Hampton Beach Ballroom?
Oh yeah, that's
Hampton Beach Club Casino Ballroom. Yeah.
3rd.
Yeah,
I think you're right,
That's
yeah.
June 3rd. Yeah, that's
Do you take your clubs on the road with you?
Absolutely. I
Right.
only need New Hampshire and Rhode Island. I've golfed every other place.
You have to make that happen. We may have to get you out for a round with a couple of friends, and
That would be awesome.
yeah, we'll have a good
Yeah,
time.
we take our clubs on the road
Good,
nice.
good.
just to get off the bus.
And we'll make sure New Hampshire's on the map now.
Absolutely. Awesome.
It'll be
Thank you.
fun. Anytime. Anytime.
You've been in the music industry. You've played with a lot of people. The venues are many. If there was one person you could collaborate or play with, who would it be?
Here we go again.
Living,
Oh, my.
alive or dead? Alive or dead?
Well, I'm going to have to say Beatles.
Wow.
Wow, that's a good one.
Man, that music is so much substance.
It really does.
Man.
Oh, that's good.
I
That's a
would
good
love
answer.
it because Ringo is a hero of mine.
Well, that brings us to another
Still
question.
is.
Your biggest influences. When you were 14, what brought you to the drums?
Wow, very good question. My dad used to put 45s in jukeboxes, change greens on pool tables, and he'd always come home with the 45s. He'd put the new ones in, take the old ones out, and I'd play along with it, just bang, literally on pots and pans. It's in my baby book. Been playing ever since I was 2,
Wow.
and it's just weird. Never stopped.
You were meant to, that's for sure.
Were either of your parents musicians?
There is nobody
Really?
that we can track in my family that plays, except one of my dad's brothers. He plays a little acoustic guitar. That is it.
Just
Wow.
to make him popular at a party at night.
Yeah. I don't know where I came from.
Wherever it is, it must have been a good spot.
Yeah, it was a good spot.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
So let's see. Going out on tour, what do you like to do when you're home? When you get that time off, what are you doing? Relaxing at home with the wife, or do you guys get to do other things?
Well, I don't golf on the weekends because I want to spend time with her when I'm home. We go out to dinner. Actually, since I'm so hyper, she'll go do her corporate gig, and I do everything in the house: vacuum, dust, dishes, laundry, folded towels.
Well, I'll
And
tell you
I
that
don't mind doing it.
that sounds like my wife wishes I was hyper like you.
If I was to ask Dawn if that's true, would she agree with that? That you do all that?
She
around
would
the
say 1,000%.
Wow.
That's
wow.
good.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Good.
We like to go out and visit with some of our friends. There's a couple places by Opry Mills, by Nashville Palace. They got the Scoreboard, Music City Bar and Grill that we love to go to because they have some killer players there. So we don't go down to Broadway.
We'll have to remember those spots because John and I are hoping to get back down in the near future. And it would be nice to get off of Broadway and explore and see some other areas around there that have great playing musicians and good attractions and food. So we'll follow
let
you.
me know because I'll remind you of the places because there's so much more than Broadway in Nashville.
Definitely.
Michael, have you ever
Yeah.
played the Grand Ole Opry?
Many a time.
Many a time. That must be something because it's so iconic.
Man, I freaked out the first time. I thought I was going to have a panic attack. I played there like 12, 13 times. And then I played the Ryman, I think total of 3. We headlined there before with Lee. Sold out. Yeah, that was a blessing.
Well, that's interesting. You mentioned it before that, you've played stadiums and you play in front of huge audiences, and then you get in front of this intimate one. And it's refreshing to know that musicians never lose the butterflies, that at times that they still feel that. And no matter how big you get or how many times you've played somewhere, you can still go out there and get that energy and that excitement yourself.
Yeah, especially, when you're playing a show and people want to go see Lee Brice, it's going to be like amazing. They're singing all the lyrics and, it's sold out and they're LB fans. Yeah, if you lose that feeling, you should find another gig.
Amen. Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it before, LB, Lee Brice, you knew at the moment you first heard him that he was something.
I knew he was special. He did a Garth song, and I forget the other one was. Man, I was like, this cat's got it. I got to score this gig.
Good for you.
And great boss, takes care of all of us. We got a beautiful camp. Just great. I mean, we get home from the road somebody will go, "Hey, you want to go fishing? You want to go golfing? You want to go hiking?" It's just like family affair.
Yeah, nice.
Not everyone gets to experience that, and that you guys do it at that level and still enjoy it as much as you do. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah. We all know when to stay away from each other, because everybody else has been there 14 years. So we know each other's clicks and ticks.
Yeah, it's important to recognize that and give each other space. As much as you like being together and as much time as you have to spend together, you do need that time.
Yeah.
Like I look forward at the end of this for John going his way and my going that way.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I can only take so much of him. It's funny, on my way in, Mike, I heard one of these girls by you guys. And it's funny because I got 4 teenage girls. I got 16, 18, 19, and 21. So, yeah, I was right. But anyways, they pretty much hate all of my music. And Lee Brice is one of the bands that we have in common that we both like. So they have you guys on our playlist. And when we're out on Lake Winnipesaukee up in New Hampshire on the boat, you guys are on the playlist, and we all agree upon that. And that doesn't happen all the time.
It's funny, Mike, when we first started going through this idea of what we wanted to do here, one of the things that popped into our heads is I'm a little bit country, he's a little bit rock and roll. I don't know if you've ever heard that used before up on a stage, but so we've got real differences in musical taste, but we all, we both appreciate music all around. But he's coming over to the countryside a lot more, A
little bit. Yeah, we're kind of like Donnie and Marie, but I want to be Donnie,
Here in Nashville.
You saw them down there?
Yeah, at the arena. I grew up on the Osmonds. I have all their albums.
Yeah,
and so I said, "Come on, Don, we got free tickets, so let's go check out part of the show." And it was freaking awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
They have, and they still look the same.
Yeah.
I wish that could happen to me.
Hey, you guys like Hall & Oates and like Motley Crue?
Oh, absolutely.
Bryan Adams.
Yeah, great to see him back out with an album. I went to a concert 1983 and saw Brian play in Worcester.
Yeah, the 3 of my favorite. Just from back in the 80s,
Oh, yeah. I love to watch, is it John's House on TV? He's got the series. And musicians go play at his house, and they have a little series that follows them along. And
Daryl's house.
Daryl's house. Yeah.
Daryl Hall.
Yep. That's a fun show to be in.
Yeah. I Google pretty much every MLB station. Does David Letterman still go to the 500?
He does. Yep. I've seen him out there a few times. The camera's always panning on him wherever he is, but I've seen him out a few times. I think this is going to be about my 24th, 25th year.
No way.
Yeah. And we meet about 40 people out there in total that all come from around the country and hit that spot at the same time every year. And it's a lot of fun.
That sounds like awesome.
It's a big spectacle. You don't even have to like the racing. As long as you like spectacle, people watching good music, because they always have Carb Day concert, and you get about 100,000 people out there in the field for Carb Day. I've seen just about everyone out there.
We were supposed to go one year. We were playing somewhere near there. And I think it was a rain out, so never made it.
That's too bad. If you get a chance, make sure you stop by there. It's a great event. There's a lot of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that surround it. And if you get to St. Elmo Steakhouse out in Indianapolis, that's another good spot to stop in.
All right.
I like it.
That's good.
I just flew in last night from Vieques, Puerto Rico, so it was a little warmer and a little muggier down there, but I was on a beautiful beach. And
I love Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah, it's that little island may be my favorite little spot in the world because it's not overrun by tourism yet. And hopefully not enough people are listening to this today to hear me say that, because I don't want a lot of people to find it.
Yes, don't give up volunteer information.
Yeah, it's a very rustic little spot. If you ever get a chance to sneak away down there, it's a very special island. It's got a bio bay on it. It's got some great restaurants and just a really cool laid-back vibe that you won't find everywhere in the Caribbean.
I'm into that. I've been to San Juan 8 times because I did a 4-month contract in '98 on Carnival Destiny.
Oh, okay.
Playing.
That must have been fun.
1 week Eastern Caribbean, 2nd week Western Caribbean, back and forth for 4 months.
Oh, that has to be a lot of fun.
It was. If my wife wants to go on a cruise, I'll do that, but I'll never play on a cruise. Just too much.
All right, so we've warmed you up with some questions, some softballs. Now we got to go back and revisit. And you've met a lot of people.
You've met a lot of people. Is there anyone that you would want to meet, hang out with, have a beer, anything?
Yeah, it's a comedian, but I'm a big Seinfeld fan.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I've probably seen every episode 50, 60 times.
My wife is the same
I like
way.
to meet Jerry.
If it's on, she's watching
Jerry.
it. She searches it. She loves that show. And how can you not?
Yeah.
I'll go
But
for.
anyway.
I'd like to meet Kramer. You want to meet Jerry? I want to meet Kramer.
There you go.
No, Michael Richardson.
Funny character.
Is that who you'd like to meet,
Yeah,
really?
they all
Off
do.
that show. Yeah,
You'd like to meet?
love Kramer.
I'd like to hang out with Jimmy Buffett. Never got to really meet him.
Give it
There'll be
time.
some stories.
But I think he'd be a lot of fun to be around.
I'm sure of it. You know, we have my cousin up here owns a little bar outside of Fenway, and at one point he was property manager for Fenway Park. So I got to go in a lot, but he got to meet a ton of people in that industry working in there, and Jimmy Buffett is one of his favorite people to hang out with when he's around.
Yeah, I bet you there's some good stories he has to share.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
And so you've been on tour so many years. How much has that changed from when you first started going out on tour, the youthful exuberance versus your wise sage self of today?
Well, we started off in a van and trailer for like 3.5 years. Everybody had their own bench, no road crew. And venues got bigger. I mean, just climbing that ladder slowly but surely.
Well, I was just wondering how the late nights versus how early you go to bed now to get up for a show.
Well, we didn't know how it was going to turn out to this day. Back then, we kind of, the band that is, not the artist, did a lot of drinking, got crazy, you know, but further we got up the ladder, the more it tamed down.
A little bit more responsibility, a little bit more eyes
A
on.
lot more. But yeah, we're all adults. See, we know when to stop and be good or not be bad.
Yep.
It is what it is.
I like it. Well, good for you. I'm glad you got to have that experience. It's something I wish more people could enjoy the rise up and get to, you know, that level.
Yeah, I've seen it from day one to this day, and nobody can ever take that away from me.
That's
Struggle
awesome.
was great.
Good for
It
you.
is. What a ride that is. You could probably write a book
Yeah.
on your experiences through your life.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I can't thank you enough for coming on today. Anything that you would like to talk about? You know, get rid of our questions out of the way. What's on your mind? What do you got going on that you'd like to talk about? And
Well, I've been running since I got home, so I really didn't think I was going to get this question. So, actually, I just washed my car before I came on here.
it's like the
When
simple
Gus
things you
made
get to
this
do
at the
right now,
grocery
right?
store.
You get to
I
settle
don't have
down.
anything to
Yeah.
promote. Just come out to an LB concert.
Well, we're thankful that
I'm pretty simple.
Yeah, we're thankful that, you know, we know that you don't have a lot of time and that you took, you know, time out of your busy schedule and, you know, rescheduled your golfing for us. That's much appreciated because, you know, Eric told me that you're quite a golfer and that's one of your passions.
Yeah, I love it.
Again, you know,
Thanks for having me.
dude, on
Pleasure.
behalf of Musicians and Beyond, we really want to thank you. And we will definitely be in touch in the
Okay.
future. And if you have any friends that you'd like to get on here or any suggestions,
I'll make note of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great.
One of the things we like to do is network as much as we can, and you know, not just for the podcast, but for friendships. And
Correct.
everyone we have here, and we met you through Eric, and you know, Eric is a great friend of ours. We love him dearly. So the more people we can meet through that, and Eric is a wonderful guy. Get the same feeling from you. So we consider you our friend, and we look forward to more experiences with you. Yeah, thank you very much for coming in and spending your time away from Dawn and your life and sharing some insights for the people that are listening. We truly
You're more than
appreciate it.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. We really appreciate
Got it.
it.
And with that, we'll say thank you for being our friend, and we'll look forward to seeing you up here when you're in New Hampshire.
Okay, my friends.
I like it. Thank you for being our friend.